See, this is Florida, January 15th. Good job, Joe. Don't take your Corvette out in the flood. If the truck can't make it, don't take your vet out in it. Take your bike instead. Or try a kayak. All right. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. I told you I'd be back. Okay, let's get started here. Come on over to our solar report first. Thank you, everybody, for taking time out of your evening here, morning, wherever you are, to come join us here. Or if you're watching later, I'll review. Here we are at January 16th, 2024. And you can see here's our activity on the sun today. Nice little object in that one there. All right. Looks like a few people have gathered now. Good, good, good. All right. So here's your loop playing right there. Let me move my soda out of the way. And we'll start going through this frame by frame. That's a good one right there. You can see it in there. All right, so back up, opening frame right here at 024. As you can see, we have our event breaking out down here, instrument reacting to it already. And as we go frame by frame through this, note how the plasma kind of off on this side of whatever kind of event is going on here. And you can see this plasma over here. We got a good shot of it right here. That's quite a bit of plasma, pretty bright, and it looks like it's kind of heading in our direction, doesn't it? Actually, in this, you can make out the little dark object, the top half of it. Let me see what that other frame, that's be a better one right there. Let's see. Well, there, you can see it right here. The top 3/4 of it, the rest of it's bathed in plasma. But you can see a little object right in there, and it appears to maybe have a bigger one back behind it here. That's a pretty cookie cutter back line right here. I'm gonna have to zoom in a little bit more so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. We're just going all the way in. All right, see how this curvature right back in here seems to be maybe a bigger one with the little moon right here in front of it. We're gonna do that or do this. One of the two. Oh, right there, I guess. Pretty good. I'm trying to get the wavy lines out. Maybe I'll use the brightness now. There we go. Now we can kind of see it a little bit better. And it appears that this is a bigger object here because you can see the stuff trailing off behind it now. See how this is teardropping off the backside of a bigger object right here, a little accompanying moon right there. And then something right here is making a shadow down it, or something behind it is casting a shadow this way across it. Ooh, there's a good shot of it right there. Camera's fluctuating there, going, what? Does not compute. All right. Let me brighten that back up a little bit so we can proceed with the rest. All right. Almost kind of looks like the Death Star with a little radar dish in it. All right. So there it is down in the corner, right down in here as it moves out. And then we have this eruption off the top up here. And this is the one where you can see the little object in the center. Let's get a good frame of it. That one's good right there. I think maybe that one right there. Hopefully you can see our black round spheroid right here with the stuff trailing off. This seems to be the ghost image behind it. And let's see if we can back up a few. Oh, there was a good one right there. All right. Yeah, there's our little object, magnetic field around it. Almost seems like there might be two. Another one up at the leading edge right here. Hard to tell with these sometimes. That's why I kind of do this. Whoopsie. That way you guys get a good eyeball of what's going on in there too. Oh, we still have music quietly playing back there. All right, now. So there's this one. Let me go ahead and zoom back out of this and proceed. That's good there. Then we also have this event shooting out down here as well. Sorry about all the jumping around here. Oh, you think that's spooky? Wait till you see the green beam. All right, so there's your loop. Go ahead and start this loop over again. Let it play for a second. Let's get an eye full of your activity on the sun today. And even though the GOES X-ray doesn't show a lot of activity, there still is a lot of activity on the sun. The green beam will be at the end of the show for the spiritual report. And boy, it's gonna shock you. Oh, here, I want to do something else. I want to put this a little faster. It's a little bit too right there. Now watch how this object comes out, stops, and stuff streams over it. Or I don't know if it comes out and stops, but there's an object here and stuff just starts streaming over it right there. I'll move my pointer out of the way there. So you can see that there's something disrupting the flow right there. All right. You got to, this flow is very similar to water flowing over rocks in a river. And you could, if the rock is just inches or an inch under the water, it'll make the water bubble, make a bulge in the water, and flow will wrap around it, over it, much like water flowing over an object. I got a good example of this here later on that I'll try to remember to show you. Okay, so there's that. Now let's come on over to the solar ham report and get the ham cooking. All right. No weird faces on the sun today, though. All right, so down here goes X-ray flux. Very quiet, except you can see it's creeping up from the seafloor here. So I'm going to go ahead and just a couple clicks real quick. Now you can see here it was down at the seafloor. It's starting to creep back up. So we came down, hit the bottom, and now we're starting to creep back up. So we might start seeing some more activity here in the next few days. X-flare potential 5%. We still have those big sunspots facing us, but they're sleeping right now, thankfully. All right, so there's your goes X-ray. See all these sunspots right here. None of them are beta, gamma, or delta configuration, which is good. Our KP is way down here at the floor again. Our auroras are mild at the moment, but pretty thick and very defined. They're not very wispy right now. They're very cookie cutter defined and green, which is the lower end. But we are absorbing some. We're getting high-speed wind, solar wind, probably skirting past us right now, and lighting up the auroras a little bit up there. That's the old thing from a couple of days ago. Let's check the tracker. Okay. Oh, good. Whatever they have moving is moving away from us. That's awesome. We don't need any more shots on the chin. We could not really take any more right now. The solar wind is hitting us is bad enough, especially when we are having difficulties with our Schumann resonance, our shields. Come on, Schumann. It would be nice if it popped up instantly, like when I clicked on it, so I could, my timing would be better. But we're in a fallen world. All right, as you can see, minus the wavy lines kind of here. I have to sacrifice a little bit to get closer, but we do it anyway. Right about there, I guess. We came out of the blast way over here, had this very weak event right here, and now we're coming back to life, pumping pretty strong right here. It's a little broad. It's being stretched out over like 7.83 to 9 hertz. It's a very thick band. It's not very concentrated right at 7.83. So a little bit of something different there going on in our Schumann, but it's going strong. That's what counts, is that this green line maintain, and when we have events like that, that's a weakening of the field right there, which is not good. But for the meantime, we're pumping along, so we got to halfway decent field right now. That's good. Coming over to this now, our tripolar vortex. Uh, you can just see that this is really kind of over the last couple of weeks here, really advanced in its different configuration and to the stage we're at now. Okay. What I want to do is kind of point out now this vortex that has broken away and is focusing over America. It seems to be kind of shifting back this way and coming down, which is now bringing. Remember, we had this split up here that was going across America. Now it is taking this new vortex is taking it all the way out here to the Pacific Ocean and then bringing it down low and into the country. This is the most intense part right here. It's nastier down south than it is up here. It's weird. See how this has taken all the air and pulled it down to here? And then we'll go down a layer to the under vortex. And you can see how this one is weakening and this one's gaining strength. Okay, so this is an indicator of which one, when these things start to fight for dominance, you can see which one's gonna maybe possibly win out here. And then that in turn affects our lower jet. Put the side right there. Then we'll snap back up a little bit. There's your lower vortex, upper vortex right there, lower vortex. Then how it's affecting the upper jet stream. How the upper jet stream is now affecting the lower right here. And as we keep getting lower down to the surface, you can see how that vortex has effect. It's still here. See, the vortex is still here and it's still pumping weather. We get lower. And even there's 1,000 feet right there. And here's the surface. But just above the surface here, you can see our vortex is taking a lot of the weather and directing it into that part of the country. And then as we go higher and higher up through these layers, now you can see how this polar vortex is affecting our weather here in America. All right, so then look what it's doing over here. Okay, this massive side right here is almost full purple all the way around, okay? Which is taking a lot of cold air off of Greenland, Iceland, the Arctic Circle, and slamming it right at Great Britain, France, Spain. See this flow coming down into here like that. All of Europe, Italy, just Saudi Arabia, or not Saudi Arabia, but up here above, here's the Mediterranean Sea right here. The Black Sea, so you get some reference there. So it's reaching the very top of Africa right here as its inflow going in, and then it abruptly cuts up here, starting to create another subvortex here that is also being fed, like I showed last night, from this. So it's coming off of this, which is over here in the Pacific Ocean, all right? Going backwards across the Pacific Ocean, backwards across Asia, and then up into this now. Oh, actually, it splits up, goes up here, and part of it splits off, goes across China, India, and gets wrapped up in this vortex and fed back into the system. So it's like one big, huge conveyor belt. And come off of here, you go up into there, you go or lap around, come off of here, do a lap around this one, come off there, peel off, do a lap around that one, come back. It's just this huge, huge conveyor belt. Our polar vortex is a wacko now. And what I wanted to do here, so we got our, let me pull back a little bit so you can see our three-way vortex, right? So let's go to the calendar and go back a year ago today, 2023. You thought 2023 was weird? No, it was pretty normal compared to 2024. Here, let me just give you a little bit more zoom on that. All right, so that was 2023. Let's just do a couple more here. Not a bunch, but there's 2022 at this day, 2022. And back in 2021, it was looking like this. See this weird conveyor belt system that was going on in 2021? Kind of similar to what we have as far as the stretched out three kind of vortex thing. So it's going to be similar to the, for them here, similar to 2021. And all right, so that's old news. We got to get back to current now. 2024. Okay. Whoops. Let's take a peek at the chemicals while we're here. A little SO2, a little sulfur dioxide, rotten eggs. There you go. A bunch of pressure still underneath China here. It's darkening up a little bit. Looks like maybe pressure's starting to build again. No big giant arrow pointing at Hawaii today, thankfully. But they still have stuff leaking out of there. Let's come over to America. It's starting to kind of creep into the west here a little bit. These little plumes are popping up, individual sites. Boom, boom, boom. All over here. The East Coast still has its issues. And like I said a few years ago, when a few of these popped up on the West Coast, there was another YouTuber who pointed it out and everybody went nuts. Now, a couple years later, the whole thing's purple. Here's the island of Java starting to fill in some more. You guys watch every night. You see this bottom half starting to get darker and filling in. Indication of pressure building again down below, shoving more gas out through the surface. We were also talking to somebody in the comments. We were talking about the water that will eventually be pushed up through perforations in the crust too, because there's underwater or underground oceans bigger than the oceans that are on the surface that'll push up. Eventually we'll get water coming up, and it's not going to be just clear water. It's going to be mixed with sand and mud, and you're going to have mud volcanoes and all kinds of different stuff that go along with this. All right. So, but for right now, the pressure looks about medium, I'd say. I'm going to have to create a scale or something and give you guys a number type reference so you can be like, oh, today was a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10. So today was a 5. Now, starting here, our deep quake for the day is a 5. Ta-da! So speaking of 5, our deep quake is a 5. Now, we've been seeing, mid-range 4s and, 4.8 or something. This 5 will be it's a increase in magnitude from pressure down below, slightly, not a bunch, from from 4.5 to 5. But then that results in bigger energy at the surface, bigger than 5 usually, not all the time. Here we have a 5.1 down at 31, 4.5 down at 136, which would be a little stronger if it were at the surface. Come up here to Japan, there's another 5 at a depth of 10. Finally, some activity on this plate boundary, 4.4 there, and a 4.5 down at 245. We'll even tap that one real quick. Well, 4.1 has made it over the kink, the garden hose there. Coming over to here, not much along this plate boundary for a while. It's been pretty quiet, even up the fulcrum point here, but we have had one. That's not much. Usually we have 2 to 3 quakes that are right here. Just one at a 4.3 to depth of 173. Okay, so there's still energy in the system that hasn't been released. These spots right here, we do have a lot of volcanic activity on that island right there. So that could be relieving a lot of the pressure in this region. Even though we see massive pressure up in this part up of China. So on the other map. Any others on the boundary lines? Yeah, we need to come up here and do a little bit of what's going on the West Coast. Right off the Puget Sound there, we had a 3.2 at a depth of negative 0.02. So it's a shallow quake. We got a 2.9 right there, right where the fulcrum point comes in. Actually, a little movement here on the San Andreas at 3.4. And shunting down this way is a 4.4 at a depth of 10. Very quiet in this region. This is always usually a bunch of quakes, little ones popping off in there. It's just been very quiet. Look how quiet it is at this fulcrum point, wouldn't you say? There's always a couple here. You know, if you pull back and you look at this map, it for earthquakes, it's pretty quiet, isn't it? This 5 would usually bring, bigger, 5.5 to 6 in this region, but I think we're still having some stability caused by magma pushing up to the underside of the crust, almost stabilizing the crust a little bit with pressure from down below. Now let's get over here to our volcano reports, where this is where we have been seeing our energy release really in this form. What is she doing? Oh, don't even look, Brian. She doesn't want to hear the word anymore, so she put plastic over her ear, I guess. You know what? I didn't want the ad for the plastic ear. I really would just like some volcano news. Thank you. There we go. It's a COVID thing? Oh, okay. What, you don't want to listen to COVID anymore? I don't blame you. So, Santa Guido, Ducono, Amarapi, Nevada del Ruiz, and Sabacaya. Here we are at Marapi. That's the one right there by Sumatra that's been releasing a lot of the energy in that area. Volcanic ash advisory, unknown height. Ducono still going off. Santa Guito, 14,000. Nevada del Ruiz, 19,000. Okay, let's just go ahead and open up the 16th. I could see why you might want to keep cooties out of your ear, like earwigs and bugs and stuff. I could see that. I could see that because I got a moth in my ear one time. I kid you not, a moth about the size of a small butterfly. And they removed it with a lot of shock on their face. Anyways, I could see why you do that if you wanted to keep stuff out of your ears. Reykjanes still going off. Okay, they got their little maps and everything, but anytime we have activity on the sun and we have pressure built up from below, this is one of our spots where it's going to vent that energy, okay? And we'll probably see another eruption coming here in a little bit when we get more energy in. You wear those when you meet Biden? Yeah, I wouldn't want to hear what he had to say either. All right, back to Sue and Oshijima, 4,000 feet. Yeah, I love you guys. You're awesome. Luatobi, 10,000. Semaru, Marapi, Dukono, 9,200. Popo, 22,000. Fuego, 16,000. Nevada del Ruiz, 19,000. So we're getting, these high blasts, 14,000, that are pumping a lot of ash into our atmosphere, 22,000. Sabankaya, every time we have these blasts, it adds more ash to the atmosphere, which makes more, the air can hold more water. Okay, let's just get on over to our forecast. Bang through this real quick because there's not much. Basically, these storms that are coming in now here on the West Coast is what we're going to be watching over the next week or so while these people freeze to death in this big, huge Arctic blast. Finally, we do get some convection coming up through there around the 24th and 26th. But, whoops, go ahead and finish up there. And there we go. So, current conditions as this low is moving out, Maine's still getting hammered with snow. Then as the storm coming in on the west coast here, that's the morning of the 17th, noontime, the end of convection there. Then we have the nighttime, morning of the 18th, noon, convection, nighttime, some snow, rain here, the nighttime of the 18th, icing and stuff going on back up in here. That'll be the morning of the 19th, the noon, the convection, and nighttime. Morning of the 20th, noon, convection, nighttime. Noon of the 21st, convection, nighttime, again here on the West Coast. Severe weather on the morning of January 22nd here. It actually comes in overnight from the end of convection. Well, the noon, there's the end of convection there, the 21st. Then at nighttime, it intensifies. The morning, it really gets severe right there. And then you're going to see a lot of water here in California, flash flooding, mudslides, snow in the Sierras right there, the 22nd. As that moves through, then we have convection blossoming up here. You go back through this a little bit. You see this moisture creeping into southern Texas by the noontime of the 21st. Then it gets dangerous by the end of convection, even icing up into Oklahoma. There's no storm right here. It's cold air mass. This warm air comes creeping up, gets sucked up into here, and as soon as it hits that cold air mass, it turns right into ice. There's not even a snowstorm here. This is an icing event due to the cold air colliding with the warm. Bang. Then we get severe weather in the noontime, southern Texas. That's the end of convection, the 22nd. Let's hope nothing major comes off the sun on the 19th or in that time frame that could add added energy to that. But not too bad for now. That's the noontime, the 22nd. Another icing event up here, Illinois, Indiana, by the morning of the 23rd. Severe weather down here again. Then it dissipates. Severe weather by convection on the 23rd. Getting even gnarlier at night, nocturnal, even gnarlier in the morning. So another one of these that continues on into the noon of the 24th, even into the afternoon convection hours of the 24th. separates and kind of dissipates by nighttime, but still chances here and there. And that could all shift. It could shift backwards a little bit or forward, north or south. This is just where they're thinking might happen. Possible icing up here again. Every time when these masses meet, look for those icing events, even if they don't call for it on the map. Sometimes they just collide right, and next thing you know, you got an icing event. Here we go with another squall line type event coming up through there. Looks like a QLCS quasi-linear storm front there. Going from the nighttime, that's a nocturnal event starting from the afternoon through the night into the morning of the 26th, then dissipating by noon. Still snow and icing right through there. Maybe another storm coming up through there. All right, then we kind of go through. Here's the 27th, 28th, 29th. Here's the 30th. Little chance there on the 30th, but that's about it for that. So, one more time, let that loop play, and we'll start clearing out some stuff and get to the green beam. Now, this green beam it's odd because I was the other day. You guys remember the event that happened over Hawaii with these supposedly Chinese satellite laser things that happened over Hawaii here? This little event. Yay! Everybody says, yeah, we remember it, Brian. Let's just play it real quick. All right, you seen that? Before, let me all right. So we had that event over Hawaii before, okay? And it looks like, it could be a satellite, measuring, doing whatever, but we got something else in this one. I was just thinking of this and I was watching this the other day, and then this happened. Is this the right one? No. This is it right here. Okay, we're over here at third phase of moon. Okay. Now, everything that they get sent into them isn't necessarily always real. Sometimes they get some good quality stuff. Sometimes they don't. Okay. This is something that was sent into them, much similar to the face that we saw in the clouds that was sent to them. What's going on is there's a lot of people out there with their cameras, right? And when they capture something, they send it to whichever channel that they watch. Like some people send their stuff to MBB, some people send their stuff, UFO stuff goes here, or any kind of sky phenomenon sometimes winds up at third phase of moon. So I'm going to give them credit for this video or whatever here. We're going to use this real quick. I want to show you this. And let's see what you guys think is going on here. And there is a very loud, annoying sound that accompanies this event. So I'm going to try to not blow your eardrums out, but prepare. You might hear a warning sound type sound. Here we go. Wait, I got it slowed down. I was searching for any kind of EVP in this event as well, but this doesn't appear to be one of a spiritual type event. This is more of a man-made event. All right, here we go. Hopefully not too loud. I've seen before. All right. What the I've seen before. What the What the Look how much it lights up the ground. Almost kind of like lightning there. Whoops. My bad. I hit the wrong button.
This definitely looks like it could be some sort of.
All right. There we go. Almost kind of looks like a space-based laser weapon or something, doesn't it? And I could see them using something like this to explain away, said blue beam project, green beam, blue beam. They could be, using this to throw you off by saying, hey, everything you're seeing in the sky is because of Project Green Beam or whatever. But this, I don't know, something about it just, I've heard that sound before. It sounds like a big discharge. I don't know. Just listen here again.
Before.
Also his response. People dropping profanities when they see something that is shocking is a typical response. So, something about this. Don't be surprised if you start seeing stuff like this going on because it appears to be already happening. I want to investigate this a tad bit more, and if you guys have seen anything, any link that this came from, or anything else out there, an event of this magnitude, I would think, would probably be captured by more than just one person or you know, their their ring doorbell. Anyways, with the event that happened over Hawaii here, uh, these lasers in China. We know this was a real event, right? Everybody, even the news is admitting this is a real event right here, okay? And this is a news article. Everybody kind of went, yeah.
Shut down any communication nodes that they want if they believe that I think the public is getting too much information.
Did you see how it scooted across the screen?
I think the public shut down any communication nodes that they want if they believe that I think the public.
Okay, so he's just talking about shutting down communications with it. But it's odd that I was just looking at this the other day and then this event happens. Whoops, right here. And we have another green beam. So just something to keep your eyes peeled for. And if it does happen again, you won't be so shocked. You'll be like, hey, that's that thing I saw before and the same sound, and it is real. I don't know, just something about this. Or it could be war in the heavens. There we go. So, interesting days, huh? Interesting things happening here and being caught by people and sent into various channels and stuff. Anything these days wouldn't surprise me because we've already seen green lasers and they admit to them in the sky. What makes this so non-believable? You know what I'm saying? And just it's just odd that I was thinking about it the other day and then it happens. It was just strangely odd, and in a way that's a lot different than the last time. Now I haven't heard of reports of damage or anything like that, but This is a very, very disturbing event.
What the for? What the What the What the
Oop. Oop, I'm trying to pause it. If I could just get it right here. There we go. Even here, this seems to be kind of bending and splashing over their house or something right here. You see this? We got lucky on this frame right here. Would somebody like edit that shit in? I don't know. It's just something about it doesn't feel right. It might be fake, but anyways, it's worth kind of looking into because we did have those green lasers showing up over Hawaii before, and it wouldn't surprise me if maybe one of our adversaries has some of that technology and is maybe already using it. Okay. Then also on their channel was this wonderful little event. Not that event. These commercials are getting bad.
It's definitely very interesting. I mean, I'm also wondering if it's just some.
All right. Remember, I was telling you about a dark patch in the sky? That's in the daytime, though. This is something different. There's another weird phenomenon being caught. And then, of course, our event that we were talking about, this shows up on their channel as well. And they were discussing whether this was real or not or what was going on in there. So I put a little comment in there letting them know, listen for the EVP. And if they got their comment or read it yet, I'm sure they were probably in a little bit of shock after we all know what happened here. Okay. But they're finding out, what the heck was that? Something happened there. All right. Now, coming back over to my channel here, we'll pull up an image and do a reading tonight. So the green beam, that was a whole odd. If you guys hear any more details about this event, or if you guys capture it,
that image,
let me know.
We can zoom in just a little bit tighter. There you go.
All right, there you go. Actually, we don't need too tight on that one right there. Looks better right there. All right. Yeah, it looks better right there, I think. A little bit darker, maybe. Yeah, I think that's probably pretty good right there. You guys alive in the chat room? What's going on? Oh, it's all froze up on me there. Unbelievable. Dogs were barking in the background. It did set off some car alarms. There were car alarms going off in the background. That's a good point, Jeremy. I like that. I've captured a beam, but it's more like blue light. Yeah, I've seen a lot of the blue beams coming straight down from the sky as well that were captured a few years back. Anyways, I'm going to dissect that video a lot more. I was in the middle of it, and then I was like, well, I got to go live, but I thought I'd bring it to you with a question mark because I'm not quite 100% sure about it, but quite an interesting piece if it is true. All right, so there is this, and where is reading that? Oh no, I spilled water all over it. Oh, it's a wet jacket. All right, bear with me for a second here. I have to Get the light. So, for all of those who have been enjoying these readings, this is for you. Let thankfulness temper all your thoughts. A thankful mindset keeps you in touch with me. I hate it when my children grumble, casually despising my sovereignty. Thankfulness is a safeguard against this deadly sin. Furthermore, a grateful attitude becomes a grid through which you perceive life. Gratitude enables you to see the light of my presence shining on you on all your circumstances. So cultivate a thankful heart, for this glorifies me and fills you with joy. Waiting on me means directing your attention to me in hopeful anticipation of what I will do. It entails trusting me with every fiber of your being instead of trying to figure things out for yourself. Waiting on me is the way I designed you to live, all day and every day. I created you to stay conscious of me as you go about your daily routines. I have promised many blessings to those who wait on me, renewed strength, living above one's circumstances, resurgence of hope, and awareness of my continual presence. So let me say that again, because this is the important part, stumbling through it here. I have promised many blessings to those who wait on me. Renewed strength, living above one's circumstances, resurgence of hope, awareness of my continual presence. Waiting on me enables you to glorify me by living in deep dependence on me, ready to do my will. It also helps you to enjoy me. In my presence is fullness of joy. So do not be afraid and do not be discouraged. You are looking ahead at uncertainties, letting them unnerve you. Fear and discouragement are waiting alongside your pathway into the future, ready to accompany you if you let them. Yet I am always with you, holding you by your right hand. Because I live beyond time, I am also on the path up ahead, shining brightly, beckoning you on, encouraging you to fix your gaze on me. Cling tightly to my hand and walk resolutely past those dark presences of fearfulness and despair. Keep looking towards my radiant presence that beams out rays of unfailing love and endless encouragement. Your confidence comes from knowing I am continually with you and I am already in your future, preparing the way before you. Listen as I call back to you words of warning and wisdom, courage and hope. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Then, here we go. It is in the present moment that you find me ever near you. My presence in the present is an endless source of joy, a continual feast. I am training you to rejoice in me always. This is a moment-by-moment choice. It is possible to find joy in me even during your most difficult times. I am always near, so I am constantly available to help you. I can even carry you through your hardest times. Imagine a woman who has become engaged to a man she deeply loves and admires. Her heart overflows with pleasure whenever she thinks about her beloved. While he is on her mind, problems fade into the background. Unable to dampen her enthusiasm and excitement, Similarly, when you remember that I am your betrothed and you are promised to me forever, you can find pleasure in me even though you face many difficulties. The soul satisfaction you find in me helps you relate well to other people. So as you enjoy my loving presence, you are able to bless others with your joy. Okay, I think that was it. Whew. Okay, so what? Oh, another one? Oh, guess there's another one. All right. I broaden the path beneath you so that your ankles do not turn. This shows how intricately I am involved in your life journey. I know exactly what is before you, and I can alter the path ahead of you to make it your way easier. Sometimes I enable you to see what I have done on your behalf. At other times, you are blissfully unaware of the hardship I have spared you from. Either way, my work to widen the way before you demonstrates how lovingly I am involved in your life. From your perspective, my workings are often mysterious. I do not protect you or anyone from all adversity. Neither was I shielded from hardship during my 33 years of living in your world. On the contrary, I willingly suffered unimaginable pain, humiliation, and agony on the cross for your sake. When my Father turned away from me, I experienced unspeakable suffering. But because I was willing to endure that excruciating isolation from him, you will never have to suffer alone. I have promised I am with you always. Okay, I think that was it. Yeah. So a lot going on, you guys. Keep your heads looking up. Keep your eyes, focused on Jesus, not so much on the news and the worries of the day. You know, what let today's worries, don't worry about tomorrow's. You have today's worries. All right, and not to worry. You got a savior. Give it all to him. Okay? So as things kind of get ramped up here and keep getting out of control, you're going to need this more and more to focus on, okay? And when you see events like the green beam or the shadow in the clouds there, try to look at it and rejoice. Look at it from the perspective as we're getting closer to victory, not I'm about to, this world's about to, go mad or something like that. Oh, excuse me, or something like that. Instead of worrying when you see shocking images, take rest in them. Okay, it's all part of the process. All right, so I think that's it for tonight. I love you guys. I miss you guys. God bless you all. And until my next show, I'll be back. I am back, can't you tell?